Tonight, protecting our troops is what's next. NBC 17's look at great ideas and innovators in our viewing area. It includes one company that's working hard to keep our soldiers alive. Here's what's at stake. More than 2,400 military members were wounded in Afghanistan last year. And since the beginning of the war, 324 North Carolina service members have suffered devastating injuries. Many made it back home because their fellow soldiers are now equipped with more life-saving tools. And one of the companies manufacturing those tools is based in Fayetteville. Combat Medical Systems is what's next. Mortar attacks, IEDs, landmines. What was once an assumption of death, these fiery attacks can now be survivable with a small backpack.
What's in this bag that's so important?
We have a chest dressing that seals a bullet hole in a chest. A lot of gauze and bandages.
Every soldier now carries a similar bag, equipped with tools, body patches, and needles to save their combat brothers' lives. This is Combat Medical Systems, based in Fayetteville, serving every branch of the military. Its gear is engineered to keep soldiers alive on the battlefield long enough to make it to a hospital. One of CMS's latest developments, a modern twist of the tourniquet, the crock.
If they step on a large mine or a large IED and they lose their limb right to their pelvis, a belt tourniquet will not go around the leg because the leg is missing all the way up to the body.
CMS's President Corey Russ says insurgents have modernized the landmine, doing more damage. The crock presses against the artery in the pelvis and clamps to control the bleeding. Without a device like the crock.
But in Afghanistan and Iraq, the distances were so great that you were asking soldiers to hold pressure with their hands for hours at a time, and it just is not effective.
Combat Medical Systems also sells its products to law enforcement, federal agencies, and allied militaries. But 85% of its life-saving devices goes to the U.S. military. And many of the products fit in that soldier backpack, like combat gauze.
And so they're packing this entire roll into the wound.
And why is this different than your regular gauze?
It's impregnated with a clay, and the clay hyperactivates the body's clotting factors.
In World War I, about 36% of soldiers died from combat-related injuries. With improvements in every war since, today that number has dropped to 9%. CMS says that's the power of battlefield medical care, to treat wounded soldiers and to transport them.
And it allows you to use the vehicle for combat patrols and then convert it to an ambulance very quickly with the use of these arms.
CMS also manufactures a stretcher apparatus.
Particularly in the Middle East, you have to travel great distances, and this allows you to secure a patient and work on them at the same time.
A contraption that can also be fitted into a chopper. Based near Fort Bragg, Russ says, gives them insight into what's needed in battle.
Zero casualty rate is not entirely realistic, but that's what we're shooting for.
So Combat Medical Systems now has 26 employees. They started with just 2. And Corey Russ, there, the president, who gave us a tour, was a special operations medic with the Green Berets. So he's really educated on the whole topic.
What's amazing about this, I mean, you do a lot of tech companies with a lot of ones and zeros and beeping and flashing lights. This is just smart, common sense that these guys came up with.
Right, and they have to keep changing it because of the insurgents. The bad guys keep coming up with ways to attack our men and women. They have to come up with ways to keep our men and women alive from those attacks. So it constantly changes.
Good to have What's Next back. Looking forward to February when we have more of these. Thanks, Mel.